Oh, hey everybody. Do you hear me? I was trying to introduce myself and maybe you didn't hear me. Andrea, how are you?
Yes, hi, I'm good. Now we hear you, Bobby.
Oh, what did I start talking and mute myself by accident? Is that what happened?
No, it just never went off mute. It
Oh,
was always on mute.
because
Yeah, so I was just waiting.
the music stopped and I started talking. I thought, oh, maybe that's how it works. But okay, yeah. Hi, it's Bobby here. We're talking about content creation and thought leadership to 10x your business and career. I'm pinging more people to come to the room, but I'm happy to have you here. We're gonna have a 1 hour chat about this because those of you who are building a brand, building a career, building a business, whatever it might be, if you want to set yourself apart, then content creation is one of the most important steps to building a thought leadership brand to become an expert and authority in your field, because then that leads to lots of opportunities, including more clients, speaking gigs, panel events, media opportunities, book deals, TEDx talks, and more. So hopefully you guys can come in and be part of the conversation. Hopefully you can this out so we can get more people in the room. And with that, I'm going to go to Indra, my amazing co-host, and have her start with her introduction.
Thanks so much, Bobby, and I'm excited to be here. So I'm Indra Bartona. Hello, everyone. I'm a producer and a in the film and television area and a TV host, and also the founder of the Positivity Vibe Tribe community. Actually, this topic is very, very important to me because it is all about creating content around either your personal brand, a business, or even just having an account anywhere on social media. You have to create content. So I'm really excited about this journey. I'm very passionate about this topic and looking forward to talking more in detail with you about this, Bobby.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And appreciate that. And a little bit about myself. My name is Bobby Omar. I'm a professional speaker by trade for the last 17 years. I've traveled around the world and delivered 1,000 keynotes and workshops across 4 continents. I'm a 5 time TEDx speaker, and I've also rejected 3 other TEDx talks. So I've been actually technically invited 8 times. And most of my area of expertise is in leadership, but over the years, it became more known as a guy for networking and authentic connection. Then I became known as a personal branding person, and more recently, a digital marketing, digital influence, and thought leadership guy. That's kind of what I focus on. Mostly because I have 650,000 followers across social media, 500,000 on Twitter, 70,000 on LinkedIn, 35,000 on Instagram, 13,000 on Clubhouse, that type of thing. So that's kind of what I've done. And so the topic today is really about that, about content creation. And again, I'd love to get, if you're able to be part of this room and enjoy the conversation and you're getting lots out of it, I would encourage you to please click the arrow above and get more people to join us. All you gotta do is you can send a DM to folks. You can also take the topic, take the link up there in the nest there, and just to click that and retweet it. You can also share this. You can also converse with people in that button on the side there, and that's where you can ask questions and make comments and be part of the conversation. So if you can't come on stage, we encourage you to come up on stage. I think that's the best way to go. We love people when they have the conversation. We love when people add to the conversation. As we go, if you want to come on stage, so feel free to come up on stage and be part of that. Um, with that, let me get started, and also the last thing I'll say is if you like what you're hearing or you like what you're seeing, and there's some great insights. Indra does this really well. She's like a natural content creator. What Indra will do is she'll take what I'm talking about and she'll tweet it out as a tweet, and then tag me. And next thing you know, I retweet it to my 500,000 followers, which benefits everybody because it brings people to the room. It also adds more followers to her Twitter handle. So that's a win-win. If you guys want to take advantage of that, when you tag me and you share knowledge or gratitude or value add, then yeah, I'm going to retweet it. So feel free to do that as well. I'm going to start by talking about content creation. So content creation is something that most people don't do, and it's actually quite surprising. Here's a jarring stat. We're all on Twitter. Did you know that 70% of people on Twitter don't tweet? 70%. Why are they on here? Well, I mean, Twitter is a place to consume information, to read things and to scroll things and to come into rooms and things like that. But 70% don't actually tweet anything. And that's because, again, most people are, you know, either too afraid to share content, or they don't know what to say or how to start, or it's not really in their regular, it's like brushing teeth and flossing teeth. Most people brush their teeth, some people floss, not everyone does. They should, but it's just something not part of their routine. So content, people don't tweet. Here's another stat for you. On LinkedIn, only 5.2% of people create content on the platform. 5.2%. So 95% of people don't create content on LinkedIn. I mean, they're there, they do research, they explore, they explore profiles and whatnot. Maybe they might send the odd direct message to somebody or an email, but they don't actually create content. And so these are really jarring statistics, because what that means to me, like on LinkedIn, for example, 5.2% of the people on LinkedIn are getting billions of impressions and engagement and comments. And to be honest, they're getting business and they're ramping up their career. On Twitter, 30% of people are creating content consistently and getting engagement, traction, response. They're running these rooms. I'm not sure what the percentage of people who run social audio rooms or Twitter spaces. I'm sure it's very, very low. It's probably like, less than 1%, to be honest, because not everybody's on Twitter spaces. But that makes a big difference. It sets you apart. Why is content so important? Number one reason content's so important and putting stuff out there is because you show your expertise. So if you're a real estate person, you talk real estate, people now know you're a real estate person. If you're in nanotechnology and talk a bit about nanotechnology, you're sharing, oh, look at me, I'm sharing nanotechnology knowledge. So you're sharing your knowledge, you're sharing your expertise, and you're becoming known as someone who has expert knowledge in something. That's the first thing. The second thing with content creation is that it invites conversation. By having an audio room like a Twitter space like this, or putting content out there, you invite people to respond to you, retweet, or whatever it might be, or engage you on LinkedIn, Instagram, or whatever it might be, and that starts a conversation. And the conversation is a way to, again, create that connection with people. And of course, if you're trying to build your business or career, we know that it's all about relationships, right? And all about people and positive relationships. So if you're showcasing your expertise and you're inviting people to have a conversation, that's the beginning of thought leadership. That's the beginning of business and career growth. And that's why content creation is such a game changer for those who want to set themselves apart from everybody else. And so I encourage all of you, if you're not putting content out there and you're not actually not creating content, what's stopping you? I mean, I already know what stops most people, right? It's mindset, it's overwhelm, it's lack of focus, lack of clarity, and things like that. But I invite you to pick your hand up, come on stage, and tell me a bit more about, are you creating content? Where are you putting it? And if you're not doing it, why are you not doing it? Because I want to understand what's stopping you from creating the content, because that's actually going to make a difference for you no matter what field you're in. So that's my initial thoughts on content creation, the importance of it. Indra, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the importance of content creation.
Absolutely, Bobby. Agree with everything you said and more. So I really feel that we underestimate what our accounts are all here for on the different platforms. And that's okay. Like some people say, well, look, I just want to just have an account just, to post things that I want. And sometimes I don't even want to post. I just want to see what's out there in the world, and I use it for more news and being up to date. Well, that's okay. But I also think that many people are missing an opportunity to just kind of think about, well, what are some of their interests? And I think that's a great way to even start off with content creation, is to just bring awareness to, well, what are my interests? Is it so? I've seen some accounts recently, and look, they talk about just coffee, they talk about the outdoors, like they have just almost like bullet points at the top of their account. So that is even more fun for them than just having an account and not even having anything specific about what they want to post, because now they're attracting more people that are talking about all the different types of coffee, and that other people are now living in a different, different side of the world, and they're commenting, say, about the coffee or whatever. So you can get a little bit more engagement. You can find more interesting things out about topics that you're even interested in, even if you don't want to go, hardcore with the topic, as in choosing a topic for your content, or you're not ready to commit to a topic. Think about the things that interest you. And I think that's a missed opportunity if you don't almost put those things in your profile, because that way you can connect with other people. That way you can learn more about that topic. And in general, if somebody comes to your profile, they'll discover what your interests are, even if you don't actually have a content page of creation. So they're just some initial thoughts, Bobby, like, because sometimes people are just wondering, what to put on their account. But I always think, like, well, put your hobbies, your interests, things that you want to post about, maybe, or find out about, some reasons that you're actually on this platform. Back over to you, Bob.
Oops,
Oh, and by the way,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, by the way, everyone, down in the right hand corner is the chat. So, do join us in the chat. And I see a couple of people already are in the chat. And Bobby, do you want to answer this question? What type of content can can do more reach? Some Hassan is just
Yeah,
asking
no, I
about that
saw that. So
question.
thanks for the question. And again, yeah, you can again, if you go to the top of this list, up the top there, there's a tweet there. If you are listening in, we'd love for you to go there, click it, and retweet it. If you retweet that tweet, I would really much appreciate it. We'll get more people in the room, and we can help more people. And if you have a question, you can also click on the bubble in the bottom right and ask a question. So, what kind of content gets the most reach? Well, I mean, there's lots of different types depending on the platform you're on. But, whether you're on LinkedIn or TikTok or Twitter or Instagram, I mean, there's so many different types. But I would say that the best performing type of content would be a video that tells a story, that shares vulnerability, and also hits on emotional pain points. That would be the best type of content you could create. So imagine a 1 minute video, and I've done this before, where I share a quick story about my struggle and journey on trying to find myself and find my career. I had 4 different careers. I struggled, I felt lost, stuck, and unfulfilled. And then by diving into my personal brand, I found clarity, focus, and direction. And now here I am as a thought leader with, 500,000 followers, and being able to travel the world and deliver content and speak in 4 continents. And so if I did a video on that, talking about the challenge, the journey, tell a bit of the story, be a bit vulnerable and authentic with what I'm talking about, and do it in a video format, yeah, I think that would be a great way to get people's attention. That type of content does very well on multiple platforms. On LinkedIn, we know that according to the algorithm and the research, that personal storytelling gets 2.5 to 3 times more reach than just regular content. And then we also know that, obviously TikTok and Instagram are video related. So doing a reel or a short that's a minute to no more than 90 seconds, but like, let's say a minute long, can get far more reach. And then the videos do far better for me on Twitter than tweets. I can do a tweet and, I may get a certain number of impressions, but when I do a video, getting like, several hundred views in the video goes a long way, especially if you do the video well. You have a clear headline. Like, the other thing too is you got to make sure the headline's really clear. Like, the video in the first 3 seconds has to get people's attention. The text around it has to get people's attention. The text in your post, the text in the tweet, or the LinkedIn post, or the Instagram post, or the TikTok post has to get people's attention the first 2 lines, so that they want to see the rest. But in my mind, that's the best type of content that works. And I encourage everyone to. I mean, most people. And again, we talked about how 5.2% of people post on LinkedIn. 70% of tweeters don't tweet. I mean, what percentage of people who actually create content do video content? It's 1%. So it's even far, far less. Again, another way to set yourself apart. But video content, again, shows who you are, shows your personality. And here's another stat for you: a 1 minute video, according to Forrester's research, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. According to Forrester's research, a 1 minute video is worth 1.8 million words. I'll say that again. According to Forrester's research, a 1 minute video is worth 1.8 million words. Why? Because you're talking about 30 frames per second and they see your personality, your tone, the visuals. There's just so much there that you do with engaging people with your personal story or the vulnerability or just the video itself. So I would say that's the number one from my perspective. Indra, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Whenever we are just scrolling, uh, on any platform and there is video, it just automatically catches your eye. And particularly even on Twitter, if you have an under 1 minute video, it actually does a cycle through where it's just playing continually. And I think that's a really amazing thing. There's a lot of benefit from having a visual. And even what I really do like is also a lot of the accounts um, that post on Twitter nowadays, they actually also post a lot of great photos and visuals to accompany what the topic is. So that's another way, just as in posting a still photo or even just amazing visuals that also help to tell the story about what people can look forward to. So that's another thing as well. Um, so also, um, oh, okay. Hassan is also asking about what are online funnels, Bobby? And just before you go to that, I'm having some sort of internet issues that I can't see the refresh of what I've just posted on my screen. So that's why I haven't been typing like crazy because I can't see it on my computer.
Oh dear. Well, I saw that you posted about the 70%. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I did that via my phone, tried to
okay.
type like that. Yeah, so I can't actually type from my computer for some reason. It's not refreshing. I've shut down, just on Twitter. Um, I just something weird is going on.
Oh dear. Well, sorry about that. But I want to before I
Yeah,
answer before I answer the question, I want to get to another thing, which is what is the best content out there? I mean, a big part of it depends on your target audience. A big part of it depends on the platform you're on, right? So there are certain types of content that do well. So, for example, on LinkedIn, as much as I love videos, they don't do as well as, for example, a carousel post with a lot of text that shares, details about your content and providing value. So, that's one thing to keep in mind. On TikTok, for example, really short videos do better than a 1 minute video. Like if you can do something in 10, 15 seconds that get people's attention, that's far better than 60 seconds, right? So part of it, and also your target audience. I mean, if you're trying to attract, let's say, investment bankers, maybe they're not, they want the information, but they want it quickly. So you have to be mindful of that. But my answer was really about you can never go wrong by having some content that is video, authentic storytelling, vulnerable type stuff. People love that. It breaks through the clutter, it makes you more human, and that's why. But there are other types. It's good to be familiar with other types of content. I certainly do image posts, carousel posts. I do storytelling via text. I do Twitter threads. I do all the different things to set myself apart. But that's important. Now, the next question is about online funnels. Well, so again, online funnels basically an online funnel is everything you could do as a business to get people within your sphere of influence in your circle, and so that then they see you and they see your value, and maybe you build a relationship, you build a community, and maybe someday they might want to work with you. I mean, this Twitter space is a perfect example, right? I mean, I so what I do for a living is I coach people on personal branding and thought leadership, brand building, help them become better speakers, better relationship builders, better content creators, better digital presence, and better personal brands. But I spend my time here for free sharing my knowledge and answering any questions you have. because I want to build trust. And some people, they'll reach out to me with a DM, or they'll tweet me, or they'll email me and say, "Hey, Bobby, I like your stuff. I'm having trouble with this or that. Can you help me?" And then we have a call, and it may not necessarily lead to business, but we build that trust. And sometimes 2 years later, they hire me. Sometimes they hire me on the spot. Sometimes they never hire me. But the funnel, it's important to have different funnels. So, I have a funnel where I do social audio rooms. So I do Twitter Spaces every Monday at 11 a.m. Today it's at 10 a.m. And the reason why, and I do LinkedIn audio twice a week. I do a Clubhouse room on Monday afternoons at 4 p.m. Eastern on Mindset. So I do different types of audio rooms. I also have a funnel where I run webinars. So I'm doing a social selling webinar end of this month. And that's a funnel where at the end of it, we'll invite people to, if they want to, book a call with us. I mean, I've done other webinars where, you do a direct sale. You'll say, "Hey, listen, I have this offer, and you can sign up for it if you want." You can do that too. Online funnels also include email marketing. So I've done email marketing funnels where they download a lead magnet. I have this thing called the personal branding audit. People click on it. It takes them to a landing page. They give me their email and whatever, and then they are part of my email marketing campaign. And I give them 5 emails of great value, and then at the fifth email, I invite them to maybe book a call with me if they're liking what they're seeing. So those are all different types. And speaking of online funnels, I mean, one of the ones I'm doing which is new is the one actually just up. I just posted in the links up above in the what's it called again, the nest up above. So I'm running a 5-day thought leadership branding challenge, and it actually starts today, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. It's every day, 1 hour of training every day for 5 days. If you can't make it, there is an option in the link to get access to the replays, although everyone will get the replay of the last day. I'm going to cover mindset, confidence, content creation, community building, storytelling, building meaningful relationships, and personal branding. I'm going to cover all the aspects of thought leadership branding, and give you my formula and my model for how I help people. And yeah, at the end of it, I mean, it's a funnel in the sense that in those 5 days, I find that giving people 5 days gives them a lot of opportunity to get to know me. I get to know them. We build a lot of trust. And at the end of it, I'll invite people to book a call with me, basically. Like, it's not really one of those hard sell things. I just say, look, like, this is what I've done. You've seen what I can offer. I'm giving you the program or the path on how to get to that next level. And so you're welcome to book a call. And because, the truth is, you only want to work with people that are willing to take action, right? I mean, you don't want to work with people that aren't willing to do the work or take action. So, and actually, for this program, I've actually put together some incentives for people to actually show up every day. So there's like a couple of bonuses that if you show up every day, 5 days, you'll get the bonuses. Otherwise, you won't. So I'll be taking attendance, which is kind of fun. But if you want to join me, click the link up there, see what it's all about, see the details, see if you're interested. It's free, so I'd love to have you. But yeah, so to me, that's the point of an online funnel is to work on building the relationship, to keep giving value to the people, to build that community. And I have another funnel is a community. Like I run a community called the Thought Leadership Brand Club. It's a membership community, and people are paying like a small nominal fee to be part of this group of, brands and experts and thought leaders. And we just hang out and we have weekly calls and we have private WhatsApp groups and things like that. And then eventually some of them say, "Hey, Bobby, I want to do more." But I'm there every week giving people advice, coaching them on their businesses, coaching them on their brands. And that's another one, right? So there's different types of funnels out there, but those are just some examples. Indra, any thoughts or comments on the funnel piece?
Yes, and finally, I have connection. Better internet connection. Okay, we are back. So basically, yay, good to be back, connected. I really liked what you said about the connection building as far as funnels, and then I also think it goes into another area of like sales funnels. So all the people that you have, when people talk about funnels, they're talking about also email lists and connecting with people at a deeper level or in the DMs, and also then continuing to connect, share content, and also to share about what's new with your account. Like for example, new newsletters or um, blogs or websites or whatever you're doing, or if you're selling a course or having a course like Bobby is today, that's another opportunity as well to use those existing relationships, those contacts, to share whatever you're doing, because usually those people are interested in what you are sharing and promoting. So that's kind of like my take on funnels, Bobby. Back over to you.
Yeah, and I think that that's a more advanced thing. I mean, when I work with people to build their personal brands, build their thought leadership brands, I mean, the first step is get clarity in your brand and your business and your target and who you're doing, what you're doing, who you're doing it for, right? And then we work on the thought leadership branding strategy to position yourself as an expert authority in your field, which is all about building relationships, your digital presence, work on your storytelling, your branding, and your confidence and mindset. That's the first piece. Once you have that, then we get into the tactics and strategies. And so a funnel is a more advanced strategy that you'll get to if you want. But I did recently a training for the people in my Thought Leadership Branding Club community. And I did a training for like 20 minutes on just how to put together your offer and how to put together a funnel. And so I kind of explained that entire process. And so it's something that certainly is important. And so, we're talking about the fact that your content creation is a key differentiator and a big part of your business and career growth strategy because most don't do it. So if you want to learn more about your content strategy, come up on stage, put your hand up. I want to hear about it. Let's find out what's going on with that and why you're not doing it and how we can make you better. But that also leads into the discussion around thought leadership. Why is thought leadership branding so important? Well, again, you know, if you are a thought leader or seen as one, then you're basically driving conversations in your field. You have followers and connections and deep relationships. You have strong storytelling, speaking, communication skills. And what's coming from that is now you basically you've built up such a authority figure for yourself that people know who you are, they recognize you, they know you're driving the conversation. And when you think of real estate or cybersecurity or personal branding or thought leadership, they think of you, right? You want them to think of you, and that when they're thinking of you on a regular daily basis, that's going to lead to really amazing outcomes, including you'll get people reach out to you for speaking gigs, media opportunities on television, panel events. They'll even reach out to you for a TEDx talk. They'll reach out to you for book deals. They'll reach out to you for business and clients. You'll get more clients. You'll double your client revenue. You'll get more leads and opportunities and conversations with that. So that's why building thought leadership is key. And the aspects of thought leadership, I'm going to talk about it today at 12 o'clock in the free 5-day challenge. On day one, I'm going to talk about why thought leadership and how it all works. And then I'm also going to talk about mindset and how your mindset affects your business, how you can use it to take your business to that next level. So that's why today's topic around thought leadership is also an important piece to the conversation. So if you have questions or you want to come up on stage and ask more questions about what we're doing, particularly for your business and career, I'm happy to answer them. I'm here for the next little bit and I want to make sure that we answer those questions. But thought leadership is a game changer. I think it's something that everyone needs to be working on. Now, not everybody wants to build a thought leadership brand. I mean, here's an example of one who may not care. A surgeon, who loves his job and goes to work and does surgery and comes back home and spends time with the kids and doesn't really want to go to events or speak, then that's fine. But if you want to build your business or brand and get more business, get more clients, get more impressions on your digital content, if you want to do more speaking, if you want to get a book deal, if you want to get people to be part of your community, if you want people to reach out to you for panels or media or whatever it might be, then building, or if you're in a corporate career, if you want to get more noticed in your career by other people, not just in your company, building a thought leadership brand is going to set you apart. And that's why you need to do the work. So those are just some initial thoughts on the importance of thought leadership. Indra, you're unmuted, so I can hear you typing a little bit, but that's okay. Uh,
Oh, my apologies.
yeah, no worries, no worries. But do you want to share your thoughts on thought leadership?
Yeah, absolutely, Bobby. I feel like it's really, even if you don't have one of those accounts, I think it's good to think about, what am I posting out there? And I think it could all start from something simple like that, as in the content that you're posting, and also asking some simple questions about, well, why am I posting this content? And it's okay if it's just for fun, if it's a hobby or if it's an interest. But if you do want to build a brand, or if you have got a brand and you want to emphasize things about your brand, you do want to share your knowledge about what you know about the brand, and also why would other people want to read your content? Like, think about it. What is your content providing to other people? So just to think about some of the simple things, and you know, usually people share things, as in um, a thought leadership brand, because they have an expertise about that as well. Like, if you really want to be serious, like, what are the things that I really know about and I can share with my brand that I feel comfortable about? If people ask me questions, like, you really have to be at a comfort level if you are delving into your brand at that level. Um, Back over to you, Bobby.
Yeah, thanks for that, Indra. So, again, the reason why we're here is because we're trying to encourage you to become content creators because it's an essential step to building your expertise, building your brand, building your business, building your career. And, again, starting those conversations to establish yourself as an expert in your area and building community that will lead to business. And the thought leadership branding aspect is important because again, when you look at the people who are having success, and you look at thought leaders out there like Brené Brown or Gary Vaynerchuk, or Beyonce, what are they doing that we're not, that other people are not doing, right? They're putting new content out there. They're disrupting their industry. They are they have followers and they have relationships, both broad and deep relationships. They're continually working on their storytelling, their speaking, their communication skills. And so that's what all of you can be doing too to get to that next level. So that's why I think it's so important. Now, again, I'd love to have people on stage. So if you want to come on stage and share a bit about your business, your content strategy, what have you done with your thought leadership? What have you done? What have you not done? I would love to hear from you because I think it would be great to learn more about, all the different things that are part of your brand, what you might be doing, and yeah, I mean, I'm happy to hear your stories and address some of the issues or concerns you have because the truth is most people have issues when it comes to building a thought leadership brand. In fact, let me tell you right away, right now. Here's what holds you back. Okay, what holds you back from building that thought leadership brand? What holds you back from achieving the things you set out to do, whether it's 2 years ago, 5 years ago, last year, or even this year? Because every single one of us has gaps. Every single one of us has things that may not work out for our business or career. And the things that hold you back, number one, is your own mindset or confidence, right? Your mindset. You may think you don't deserve it. You may think you don't deserve the price. You lack the confidence to convince people. Is one thing. Number two, maybe you don't have clarity in your personal brand. You're doing like 10 things when really you should be doing 2 or 3 things. So you're not clear in your brand and how you set yourself apart. You lack the focus because of uncertainty, which is not clear brand, not clear target, not clear strategy. You lack focus because of overwhelm. You feel like there's 20 things to do, and so you can't move forward on one of them. You lose focus because of setbacks. Something happens. Like something a conflict happens, and you delay and delay and delay. The other reason why you're held back is because of the lack of support or accountability. You don't have a community, you don't have a coach, you don't have goals. That support and accountability goes a long way. Just today I posted on LinkedIn my health journey update about how I'm trying to lose weight. I lost 8 pounds the last week or so, and I shared that because I want to be held accountable because I know that sharing it and with my community will help make me more accountable. And the last thing that holds you back is basically feeling afraid to ask for help. Most people feel embarrassed or afraid to ask for help, but the truth is, every single person, even the thought leaders out there that you know and follow and love, they've all asked for help and they got the help and now they put themselves in a really, really strong position to be a thought leader. So that's what holds you back. And today, if you want to join me for the 5-day challenge starting at 12 p.m. Eastern, check out the link above. You'll see what it's all about. But I'm going to talk about mindset, and I'm going to get to know your business a little bit more. So hope you'll join me for that. Looks like Carlos is joining us on stage. Carlos, thanks so much for joining. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us a bit about yourself and any questions you might have.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Bobby and Indra, for this insightful time with you. I'm enjoying a lot the conversation. I wanted to point one topic that I think is very important. Is related with what holds us back. Why are we not creating as we would like to do? And I think that the point is the imposter syndrome. I realized, and I faced it by myself, that you are always holding back because you think that you are not the voice that has the truth or is going to add some value to the conversation. So I like to make the analogy like in the business. In business, when you start, the most difficult thing is going to from 0 to 1, right? Once in business you go from 0 to 1, you understand what happened to get to that point, and after that you are able to scale it. So in this case, in order to beat this imposter syndrome, in my case, for example, I used to use Twitter, especially. Twitter is a tool where we normally write, but before writing, you just read, and you're always reading. Then one day you have the courage to write, and when you realize that nothing happens, that you keep breathing, that the sun is still shining, nothing happens, then you have broken this barrier, you have broken this wall, this border of the comfort zone. So you start breaking these walls, and you keep scaling till the point that you were mentioning, Bobby, to be able to face a video for your audience. So for me, the most important thing is to beat the imposter syndrome. And one thing that can help to beat the imposter syndrome is to find your why. Why are you doing this? What keeps fueling you independently of the outcome of what you are doing? Because in the very beginning, you are not going to get any engagement. You are not going to reach a lot of people. You are not going to get likes, retweets. It doesn't matter. You just need to be continuously keeping your why, what keeps you passionate about it. If not, you will lose the long race. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Carl, thanks so much for sharing that, and feel free to stay on stage for the conversation. I love what you had to say, and one of the things that resonated with me the most is being clear on your why and being clear on your outcome, and they kind of link together very, very well. A lot of people have not done the work to really dive deep into their personal brand, to have a clear mission, vision, or a why statement, right? My why statement is there are a lot of stuck or unfulfilled leaders everywhere. And what that means is everywhere I go, I meet people who feel lost in their career, stuck in their businesses, and unfulfilled in their relationships. And so everything I do is to help them get unstuck and to feel more fulfilled and more aligned. And then, so that to me is really, and it fuels me every day. It fuels me and fires me up every day as a father, as a business leader, as a coach, as a speaker, as a son, as a friend. Everything I do is about doing that. So I think that to me, having a why statement is so important. And the other thing is the outcome. So oftentimes I'll talk to people on like LinkedIn or so. I'll say, hey, so tell me. I'll say, nice to connect with you. Tell me a bit more about your objectives and goals for LinkedIn or Twitter, whatever it might be. And a lot of people say things like, and it'll happen too in my 5-day today in my 5-day challenge. I'm going to ask people, so tell me a bit more about your goals and business and objectives, whatever. And they'll say things like, well, I'm here to build my network. I'm here to enhance my brand. I'm here to connect with others. Okay, that's great, but what's the outcome? Like, and I have to push people to give me the outcome because they don't say that. Like, what is the outcome you want? The outcome is a little bit more specific. The outcome could be, I want to get clients for my coaching business. I want to get a promotion within my company. I want to get a new job in a similar or different industry. I want to get people to take my course. Like, so be more clear on what outcome you specifically want with your strategy and your goals and objectives. And a lot of people don't think about that. And I often push them to just say that, just because they can't seem to articulate that this is the outcome that I want, as opposed to just I'm here to network, build community, build my brand. Okay, that's great, but that's a step to an end. So content creation and thought leadership are steps to an end, right? Content creation is to show your expertise and to start conversations with people, and then thought leadership is to show your authority and expertise by building relationships, building followers, building a presence. But the outcome is business. The outcome is clients. Outcome is gigs. Outcome is promotions, or a new job opportunities. Those are the outcomes, and so a lot of people don't think about that. Indra, any thoughts on anything we talked about so far?
Yes, absolutely, Bobby. And I think the thing is that, I mean, what I do like about when you explain things is that you break it down to the pieces. It's almost like I have a bit of a checklist in my mind. But defining the goals are really important. And I feel like you really nailed it on that piece because often when you start your social media account, we want to be really clear and ask ourselves like those specific questions. And also the other thing that that I did when I first started, because I didn't have like it wasn't a brand account, it was more much as my personal account, and I kind of wound the two together, um, was to have some short-term goals and longer-term goals. And I think that's where some people also get disappointed and stop, too early in the piece. And I can see where that can happen. But just remember, like short term, it can take a long time to build the brand up, to get your engagement with your content, because there is a lot of people that probably have similar content to you. So just to remember that, to start off, and sometimes just be a bit patient with yourself. And also, what I think is it's another also defining factor that sometimes when I'm not getting engagement, it's because of, sometimes I have to tweak my content in order for more people to find it interesting, to like it. And that's also a journey as a content creator, because we're talking about content creation, that it'll be a natural evolution if you are, also giving your audience what they want. So, you have to kind of learn to tweak it. What are they really wanting from me, as in my content creation? Oh, wow, when I post a video, wow, they're all over it. You know, Find out the things that they like, find out the topics that they like about your area of expertise. So even short-term goals are really good. Just have a short-term goal of your content creation plan of, okay, well, I'm going to make sure, say, for example, on LinkedIn, I'm going to post, like once a week or twice a week or whatever it is, and then meet those goals, and then, stretch yourself further. But just start off afresh if things haven't been working, and start from the beginning, define your goals, and also being very specific about the content that you're posting about and what is your niche. Just I'm kind of leading over into the niche topic now, Bobby, because
Yeah.
right, because for a lot of people, sometimes, I mean, okay, so we've all gone to accounts where there isn't a niche, or we're trying to wonder what the niche is. I mean, Bobby, you've probably done that. But then, if that's okay, if it's just a fun account. But the thing is, if you're trying to create something, you're trying to create content, then it's better to have some. And also, I know, Bobby, you've also mentioned like, well, you can also um, do some content that isn't specifically, in your realm, but majority, 70 or 80% should be in that area that you are trying to focus on.
I want to add another thing too that happens too. A very common thing I see is people are on one end or another end. So one end is you're out there, you put in content, and you're putting it out there, lots and lots of content here and there, here and here, here and there, but you have no particular focus, no particular target, no particular brand strategy or content strategy. It's not really aligned or focused. And so you put it out there and you're not doing the stuff that you need to actually. So what you're doing, you're a boat that's out there sailing around and riding around, but there's no rudder to steer you in the right direction. And then the other one is people who are on the other side where you're constantly learning and you're listening and you're planning and you're taking courses and you're working with coaches, but you're not actually doing anything. And I'll share a quick story. One of my best friends, so she and I became best friends during in 2013. We met at a conference, and she and I we started hanging out together, going for coffees together. We started doing hot yoga together, and yeah, and she was basically my best friend for several years. And she was a breakup coach and a love coach, a relationship coach. And she just kept reading books and telling me, Bobby, I'm taking this brand new course, and I'm like, you should do something. Put something out there. Like, do a video. Like, you're so articulate. You're so lovely. Like, do a video. Put some. Let's do a live event together. I'll even work with you. And I tried to convince her as her best friend for 3 years. She wouldn't do anything. Finally, after 3, 4 years, she started putting a few things out there. And then when she finally went full blown with putting content out there on a regular basis, like 5 years after she and I became friends, it's 2018 now. 2013, 2018, she did nothing. She would hardly ever say anything. And she finally put stuff out there. And I even told her, like, as her best friend guy, I said, Talia, please stop taking new courses. Put your shit out there. Please, for the love of Pete. She finally did it. And then people started resonating with her. And within 3 to 6 months, she was getting so much business. And then she got to appear on Good Morning America as a breakup specialist, talking about the celebrity breakups and blah, blah, blah. Was on there several times. And now she has a 6-figure business and she can't even keep up with the work. And then she's like, Bobby, I can't believe I spent 5 years not doing anything. So there are people on one side who are constantly listening and learning, exploring, whatever, but they don't do anything out there. What you should do is do both at the same time. You put stuff out there, and while you're doing that, you're working on the foundation of the rudder and the brand, and the target and the niche and all that kind of stuff. And as you put content out there, people respond. You get start to see what's going on, and you start to listen and learn and evolve. I mean, when I was speaking out there, I usually started talking about leadership, but then about a year or two into it, I realized that networking and authentic connection was a niche I could focus on, and that led to even more speaking gigs, right? And then personal branding showed up. I was like, oh, this is really great. Let me focus on this one. So I adjusted then too. You have to be constantly listening and learning, getting feedback as you go along. So don't be the person that's just putting stuff out there without any kind of plan or foundation or brand behind it. Don't be the person that is constantly listening, learning, and taking courses, but not actually doing stuff. I mean, even in my own Thought Leadership Branding Club community, I train them every week, and I tell them to do stuff, put together plans. And some people are like, oh, it's in my head. I'm like, oh God, that's terrible. Like, a plan in your head is no plan at all. It's a muddle because your minds are a muddle. So, put stuff out there. Great, she's doing that. But start putting together a plan. What is your mission, vision, why? Who's your target audience? What's your niche? So for me, I want to make sure we're clear on that. And again, if you want to learn more about how to do that, my Thought Leadership Brand Challenge, it's free. You get a replay of the last day. There's also an option to get replays of the other trainings if you want. It's 5 hours of training for the whole week. If you can't make the whole week, you can click the link above. You can learn more about it. But I think that to me is incredibly important. And I know Indra brought up niche target. Oh, well, actually, Indra, I know you brought up niche targeting, but you understand what I'm saying when it comes to those two sides of people?
Yeah, absolutely. And they were really great points, Bobby. So thanks for going into more detail about that. Because I guess the thing is with content creation, and hey, I want to give a shout out to some friends in the space, in particular, Naldo has turned up, and also my co-host for Thursday Space, Success Minded, who is a incredible uh, creator, content creator. Everybody check out also Success Minded content. His page is incredible. He is a great content creator. And as far as, again, with Bobby, a lot of people that have large accounts have worked very hard on their content, and that just kind of shows you the kind of skill and the study that one has to do to do that. But it is possible with a lot of hard work. So sending a big hello out there, and thank you so much for joining our space, friends. And I see many other friends here too. So we love to have you guys in the space. And also thanks to everybody for hopping into the chat as well. And do bring up more questions or join us up here and request to speak if you'd like to join in on the conversation. And also I want to go back to something really really basic, Bobby, because this is something that also a lot of people they have a fear of creating content for whatever reason, and the fear of this kind of mindset in content, but it crosses over into that area of like, oh well, what will people think of my content? Well, the thing is, I almost think no, there's no point in sitting there um, and kind of going over the what ifs. The thing is to explore and to try content and to be adventurous with it. And if it doesn't work, that's okay as well. Sometimes when you are putting content together, it's also about different times a day that work for you and work differently for other people. For some people, maybe all their audience is, in the US, it's over here, or sometimes you may find that your audience is over in Europe. It's at different times of the day. So also be flexible to explore those avenues of posting at different times of the day. Particularly, it doesn't matter where you are with your account. Just kind of know, like, when are the best times? When are you getting that response back? Because that really does affect also. If you're posting first thing in the morning and your crowd is, not up till later in the day, then you're missing a great opportunity. But the only way to do that is to also kind of practice and see what the reception is. Like, oh well, I noticed that, and also on different platforms. And Bobby, you probably even have more detail or ideas on this, but on different platforms, it's actually better at different times of the day. I might get a different reception from posting in the middle of the day on Twitter than I do on Instagram, for example. Oh no, they're all active at the middle of the day in my time, Pacific Standard Time, with the people that I am connected with, and I'm being very specific about that. The people that I am connected with are very receptive in the middle of the day, as opposed to maybe over on Twitter. Um, so there's differences between even platforms, if we really want to be specific about that. And yes, Bobby, I'm looking forward also, I forgot to mention, to your course. I probably today will be difficult, but the next 4 days I'm definitely planning to try to do my best to be there, and excited. I'm going to have to play catch up with today's. But yeah, really looking forward to your course as well.
Yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate it. And again, if anybody in the audience wants to come on stage and ask me a question, particularly about your content strategy or particularly about your thought leadership branding, this is why I'm here. If you want to share what's holding you back, share that. If you want to ask a question about what are the areas that are missing for you, I mean, we know that thought leadership has multiple aspects to it, right? There's your mindset confidence piece. There's the storytelling, speaking, communication piece. There's the content creation, digital presence piece. There's the personal branding piece. There's the coaching community piece. There's the knowledge, learning, and evolution of your strategy and tactics and plans. There's the aspect of actually having an actual plan and putting it into place. There's all these things that you need to do that most people are always missing one part of it. And that's why the building meaningful relationships, that's why it's so important to have this so that you can actually figure those things out, because we want to make sure that you are able to get to that next level. And that's why I'm running this room. That's why I'm running the program at 12 o'clock. I just put a brand new link in the feed there. It's a video of me just talking for like a minute and 15 seconds. And I basically say, why are you not doing what you want to do? Why are you not achieving what you need to do? And are you someone that invests in yourself, or you just say that as a bunch of BS to sound good, but not actually do it. Because most people say stuff, yet most people don't do stuff. They don't commit. So I'm putting that out there in the video. So take a look at that. You can see what you think. I see we got someone on stage here. Oz. Oh, no, you're a breakup coach? That's interesting because my best friend's a breakup coach. That's adorable. So welcome. Nice to meet you. Please share your thoughts or ask a question.
Hey Bobby, hey Indra, hey Carlos. Yeah, actually I am a breakup coach. I changed my name from breakup coach to relationship coach like a month ago, just to experiment with it. But I have a question, and it's related to something that's coming up. So I don't know what you guys might heard, but you know how threads have been like a growth hack or a growth tactic over the last couple of years, for accounts. What do you think will happen now in February that they announced they're doing long form content on Twitter now? Like, what do you think? Do you think threads are going to completely disappear? Do you think now the long form content is going to be the growth, like another growth tactic? Like, I don't know. I just want to get your opinion on that.
Yeah, so I have very strong opinions about that because I've been on Twitter for a long time. I am a Twitter Blue Legacy OG verified account. I have 500,000 followers, and I'm very invested in Twitter and the platform and building my business here because it's been so great for me. Um, One of the big problems with some of the things they're doing is this guy Elon Musk, from the outside said, "Hey, I can fix Twitter," and because I did well with Tesla, I did well with SpaceX, but Twitter is a completely different platform, a completely different business, and one of the biggest problems is that he doesn't actually understand the culture of Twitter, and he doesn't understand, um, you know, he doesn't listen to the users of the platform, and he just makes up all these things in this dark room at the top of this building of things. Let's do this, let's do that, and then when it doesn't go well, he cancels things, or he canceled Twitter Spaces when someone asked him a tough question. Um, the whole One of the biggest aspects of the culture of Twitter is short form content and accessibility and transparency. So Twitter, for example, when there is an earthquake or someone scores a goal in the World Cup or something's happening in the world, right away there's a tweet about it, whether it's a video, a text, or an image, but people are talking about it. And that's really special because no place else is it like this. Right, back in the old days, you'd write a Yahoo or Google article, in 15 minutes it would show up, or you might post on Facebook and say, "Hey, this is going on." But on Twitter, it's immediate; it's right there. And so that immediacy and accessibility is really, and then accessing people and being able to tweet them and say stuff to them, you can't really do that on other platforms. But the short form content is also a big piece of it. It's a big part of the culture. And so, I think the idea of allowing for super long form content is completely dumb, completely doesn't understand the culture of Twitter. And what I predict is that culture is a strong thing, right? So the culture will not adjust well to that. I think that, like I remember when they switched the character limit from 140 to 280, there was a huge uproar. Oh my God, this is. But I made the argument that it's enough of a strategic insight that use the knowledge from the people that were using it to give people a little more flexibility and options. I would predict that. So I think it's a terrible idea. I think it doesn't really fit with the culture, but the culture itself is what will prevail. And what you'll see what happened. And what happened with the 140 to 280 that I predicted was that people are still going to do the short form one-liner content. Why? Because it's gold and people love it. And the people love the one-liner tweets here. And that hasn't changed. Yeah, there's people who use up the 280 characters, but usually it's not as not as common. And so similarly, and people are not gonna. People are still gonna use long form content. I get it, but the Twitter culture and what people like on Twitter are not going to really go for it. Culture is a very, very difficult thing to change, and the culture of Twitter is such that the short form content is what dominates. It's kind of like, TikTok. Right now we also know TikTok and YouTube and Instagram are all promoting short form reels. Why? Because short form content is the best. They still allow the long form stuff, but no one does it. If TikTok's originally was short form content, and then they decided to allow for up to 10 minutes of content. But what happens is the short form ones can do way, way better, right? So I would predict that it's going to stay the same, that the short form tweets will be the dominant methodology within the culture of this platform. And people doing long form content, I'm not sure it's going to really work. So you can still do it. Absolutely. I mean, you can always do things. You can do 10-minute videos on TikTok. You can do, you can do, 500 word essays on LinkedIn, on Twitter. But the reason why I like the Twitter thread still is because when I do a Twitter thread of 12 different short form tweets, first off, it aligns with the culture, and each tweet can actually get people's attention, right? For them to read the rest of it. So if I have like 7 points of the, thought leadership branding, and they read number 5, they're going to go read the rest. And they like the short bite forms, whether it's a short video or a short tweet, because people are busy. And that's the culture of society. People in society are really, really busy. So that's why video short reels and short tweets, and even oftentimes now short posts on other platforms, LinkedIn, they allow 33,000 characters, but nowadays, people don't always use the 3,000 characters. So that's my take on it. I'm very passionate about it. Obviously, you can tell in my voice, but I think that it's, there's some good moves on the platform, but I think that's one of the dumbest moves of all the decisions that have been made. It's yeah, I'd say it ranks up there in probably one of the dumbest moves by Elon Musk. No offense.
One, thank you so much for that, like, very, very um thoughtful answer, and very complete answer as well. I completely agree. One thing that I had been thinking about is exactly what you said at the end, is the fact that with threads, I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, I mean, just do the thread inside that limit and it's going to be the same. But one thing that I've noticed with threads and that I love is the fact that you get that instant feedback where if you're talking about, like I do threads that are like listicles, but I also do threads that are stories of my life. And so I'm able to see, right, with the feedback about where people are resonating the most with the story that I'm talking about my life. Because you have, those 10, 15, 20 different tweets, and like there's always one that pops off more than any other. And the same with a list. Like if you're doing a list and you're doing, like, I don't know, 7 tips to do your New Year's resolutions, you always see that one or two resonate with people the most, or there's also one or two where people have a little bit more questions. So of course, that was, that's been my big concern since that announcement was made, because now with long form content, it's not going to be as easy, right, to see where people are resonating and for people to just um share, right, like that little piece that resonated with them, as opposed to like the whole thing. So that's why, that's one thing that I've had in the back of my mind thinking about it for a while now.
Yeah, and that's the reason why people say the first 2 lines of your content on LinkedIn, Instagram, like the text part of the post, is incredibly important, and that's why the first 3 to 5 seconds of video is incredibly important. That's why it's important to have a headline. Same with Twitter and Twitter threads. Like the first line will get people's attention. If you're going to do something longer, okay, fine. But yeah, the thing is, if you're going to throw in a 1,000 character tweet, people don't have time to read the whole tweet. And the other thing of the culture of Twitter is that, again, tweets last how long? 10 to 15 minutes before they're gone, right? I mean, LinkedIn posts last 2 months. Tweets last 10 to 15 minutes, unless it goes viral, unless it starts to get attention, then it can last longer, right? But I think that Twitter is the culture is short form content, just like TikTok is short form video content, and that's what's going to stay. That's what's going to resonate, and that's the culture. And so you want to make decisions to give people more options, or particularly ones that go against the culture. It's really, really dumb. So yeah, I'm strongly against those things. In my mind, that's one of I'm trying to think of other things that have happened, but that's one of the worst ones. Indra, anything you want to share before we close up, and maybe share some final thoughts?
Some final thoughts are, it's been a great space, Bobby. And also just a quick thought on the content piece, the short form. I really love the short form, but I also think that maybe some people who have blogs will probably jump into the opportunity of the long form content. So even, people that write newsletters, that write other things, I mean, they took away, there's no more newsletters anymore with review. I think we've got another week or two, and then that ends here on this platform. So maybe there was some other thoughts about utilizing the longer form format to keep.
Let me share
Sure.
a quick tip on that one. So because here's the thing, again, it goes back to the two lines. If you ask a very powerful question and have a quick line about your blog post and the link, I predict that's going to get far more traction than you putting the entire blog post in one tweet.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. And also, even with my YouTube channel, like I noticed that even when I post, I get the most traffic actually coming from Twitter with a very short post. So I think that the bloggers might post here, but the thing is that really they want to take traffic to their website. I mean, that is the goal. So I'm not sure what's happening, except it may be that I was just thinking that it might be useful for me to use it like a newsletter kind of idea, because there isn't a newsletter here. But other than that, I've always been a fan of the short snippets that I can gain on on this platform. So not so much looking forward to the longer content, because I'm thinking, well, I'm probably only occasionally going to utilize that. But as a whole, the content creation topics that we've covered, it's really been like a snapshot today, because there's been a lot shared on content creation, also a lot shared on thought leadership. I really think that there's been some great gems here, and hopefully I've captured a few things. I know there's been a few people that have joined us a little bit later, and I have tried to capture some of those notes below this space in the chat. So do check that out as well. And just want to thank everybody for joining us. I'm looking forward to attending Bobby's course and hope to see a lot of you there. And I don't think, maybe it's not even too late, if you want to jump on board and hop on Bobby's course, you could probably still do it, because I believe there's tweets up in the nest that give you all that information. But thank you all for joining us, and particularly great to see you here, Success Minded. Thank you for bringing many of your friends to the space too. We appreciate you, and looking forward to the space with you on Thursday. And also I'll have a space on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that'll be on introverts. And on Thursday, my regular space with Success Minded is actually at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 a.m. for Pacific Standard Time. So looking forward to all of you there, seeing you all. And in the meantime, wishing Bobby a great week with your course, and sending everyone love, light, and blessings.
Thanks, Indra. Appreciate that. And a couple of things I want to say before we close. Oz, you should look at my best friend. Her name's Natalia Juarez, and she's a breakup specialist, and she's mostly on Instagram for the most part. So you can look her up under breakup. I think it's called Better Breakups. It'd be cool to get the two of you together and maybe run a thing, because you have the male and female perspective. I think that would be an amazing room or amazing thing you guys could do together. So think about that, or DM me and I can send you her information. But just look her up. Her name's Natalia Juarez, and her handle on Instagram is Better Breakups. And yes, I'm running this course. You can join today. You can join tomorrow. But if you join, it's free to register. You'll get access to all the different bonuses that are there. So that's another reason why you want to sign up for it. I'm happy to share with people that today we're going to talk about mindset, confidence, and why thought leadership is so important. And again, it's all my signature content every day for the next 5 days. I'm excited to do that. It did a couple years ago. It was paid. Today it's free, just for the first time only, because my plan is to make recordings of it, and then I automate the replay so I can do it again. So with that, again, content creation creates conversations and shares your expertise. Thought leadership sets you apart as the authority in your field, so you get reached out for speaking, media, book deals, TED Talks, clients, promotions, jobs, and doubling your business. If that's something that interests you, then you should work on building your thought leadership brand. And I see a lot of people here now. I feel bad leaving, but I got to go prepare for this thing that's coming up. get my slides ready. People are coming in now because normally we're at 11 o'clock. We went to 10 o'clock because of the fact that it was at 12, the 12 o'clock thing today. So I apologize for that. But I'm glad you're here. If you see the replay, again, if you want to make an impact with just content creation, take a photo of this room and share the 1, 2, or 3 things that you learned. Take a look at what Indra tweeted about some of the stuff that we talked about, and that's learning as well. Or you can just share the replay and share your top 3 things you learned. Tag me, tag Indra, follow us. But if you tag us, I'll see it, and next thing you know, I'll retweet to my 500,000 followers, which will give more people an idea of this room, but it'll also bring you more followers too. And I think that's a win-win. And in the lack, if you're lacking the ability to create original content, at least you can retweet content that's up in the nest as well as the stuff that is here. So hopefully we'll see you again next week every week at 11 a.m. Eastern for the Power of Connection chat. I actually forgot to title it this one today, Indra, but it's called the Power of Connection chat. But I'm looking forward to seeing you, and wish you guys all the best. Have a wonderful week. And if you have any questions about my course or what I'm doing other things too. I run audio rooms on Tuesday, Thursday. I also run. I'm also running a 3-month mastermind for. One of the things I'm really focusing on is multi-platform content strategy as well as monetization strategy across multiple platforms. So I show people how I use Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Clubhouse to generate money and build communities. And so if you're interested in that, mastermind with 3 coaches and 3 months of support, that's coming end of the month on January 27th. And I'm also doing a social selling webinar on January 26th. So ping me if you want more information, but I'm always posting about it. All the best to you guys. Take care, and we'll see you soon.